Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. My name is Shivangi Walke, and I'm the founder of ThriveWithMentoring.com. Thrive with Mentoring is a women's global initiative which gets women together, senior leaders and younger women in mentoring relationships. And I'm joined here by Shagun Agarwal. Shagun is the Thrive chapter leader for Singapore. A very warm welcome to you, Shagun.
Thank you so much, Shivangi. And at the outset, thank you so much for everyone who's tuned in to the chat session, as well as a huge thank you to those who've sent their questions in advance. We're really excited to kick this session off.
Great. Shagun, just to start with, maybe for people who are, very new to this, I will give a short introduction of what Thrive is and what Thrive does, and then maybe we can take questions. I see a couple of people already on Facebook Live, and I will just maybe, say those questions as and when they pop up.
Sure, sounds good.
Yeah, so Thrive is actually a program that will put women, senior women who have usually around 15 years of work experience and more, in a mentoring relationship with younger emerging leaders, usually 5+ years of work experience is what we have seen. I mean, that's the typical age group, right? And what we do at the launch event is, so we are on the website, these women go and register, vendors saying, I would like to have a mentee, mentees saying, these are the sort of areas in which I would like mentoring. And we ask the mentors for what are their strengths. And then based on the registration information that we receive for the mentors and the mentees, we do a pre-match. At the launch event, which is going to be on 12th of February in Singapore, we actually get each mentor to meet up to 3 mentees and each mentee to meet up to 3 pre-matched mentors. Because we know that for mentoring to work, the chemistry between the mentor and the mentee is very important. So that is really the focus of the launch event. Besides, I also give understanding of what a mentoring relationship is, because I believe it is really a relationship of equals. And though the mentor is in the service of the mentee's development, we know that a lot of mentors also gain a lot from the way in which the Thrive mentoring is structured. I think all of us have experiences around having a lot of informal mentoring. Thrive introduces some structure into that. So that's really the very broad level understanding of that, Shagun. But what sort of questions have you received as you speak to the mentors and mentees in Singapore? And we're so privileged to have a strong, let's say, cohort of women who have already signed up as mentors.
Sure, and there's huge excitement as we gear up for the launch, and really some hygiene questions that we've received are, what is the typical duration of this mentoring relationship? Is there a fixed start and end date to it? And what more can they expect beyond having a one-on-one mentor as they join this program?
Right, so very valid question. 6 months, so we are starting in February, so around 6 months after that is what we call as the formal part of the mentoring relationship. So it starts with having a meeting to get to know each other. Of course, you get to know them a little bit in the launch event, but then meeting one-on-one, and then you sign together what is called as a mentoring contract. So that allows both the mentor and mentee to have a clear understanding of what are the mentoring objectives, how often are we going to meet. We recommend that people meet at least once a month, but I know that many mentors and mentees meet more frequently than that. We also recommend that in the beginning, please meet in person, but over time, depending on your availabilities, you could also have mentoring conversations online, using Skype or Zoom, things like that. What is very important is for us is to have this local community to nurture each other in their growth. So besides these one-on-one relationships that are, of course, the core of Thrive, the chapter leader in this case, Shagun, you and your team, you have a very exciting program where you bring, let's say, all mentors together and discuss what are the challenges of mentoring, or all mentees together and discuss what are you learning, how to get the most out of the mentoring relationship. Or we have also identified a few skill building workshops that we will be offering, as a part of that Singapore cohort. So the ones that we want to focus on are positive psychology related Strengths Finder. This is a Gallup tool that we offer to the mentees of Thrive, and we conduct a workshop where both the mentors and mentees can learn how to really best use the results of that tool. We also offer a workshop around critical skill sets like crucial conversations. How do you engage with somebody when you have opposing opinions about a high stakes issue and your emotions are running high? There would be also a session on career development, etc. So depending on the needs of the cohort, we have like a menu of workshops, and then each chapter leader picks and chooses from there what would be the workshops most relevant depending on the feedback you get from your cohort.
Sure, that sounds exciting, Shivangi, and not to forget the immense access of the wide network of women leaders that both mentors and mentees have access to, which we hope as a chapter lead, what we envision is that we can have this ongoing sustainable community where formally and informally the women leaders are coming together and mutually supporting each other in common areas of need. So that's great. One more question that kept arising from the various groups was, what is the typical mentor profile that an entering mentee can expect as part of this program?
So in Thrive, we have mainly, I must say, mentors with extensive corporate experience. And usually these are also mentors who have had international corporate experience. I'm not saying that each and every mentor will have that, but majority of them have. That's around 80% of the mentors, and they come from all sorts of functions, be it marketing or HR or regulatory. I mean, there can be very many different functions. Around 20% of Thrive mentors have an entrepreneurial background. That means they are founders of their own businesses, and they have gone along that journey of how to be successful at your business. And that's what we see also in the mentee profiles. Then usually we are able to offer a mentor which is most relevant, the profile of whom is most relevant to the mentee.
Sure. And really, this Thrive has launched in Europe, has launched in India. As you see it coming to Singapore, what would be those two key takeaways that you would want to share with the mentors and mentees of this launch batch to make mentoring really successful for them, to really gain meaning out of this relationship?
Yeah, so we're very privileged in Thrive, though it's an initiative that's 1 year old. It's already in 4 countries, so Singapore would be the 5th country. And we are in 10 cities, both in Europe and Asia. As far as, and there are around 500 women who have already engaged in these one-on-one mentoring relationships. Now, as far as my key takeaways and my learnings from the last year of launching Thrive, I really urge the mentees to drive this relationship. The mentor has already signed up saying that I'm interested in your development, but I really want the mentees to take more ownership. It might happen from time to time that the schedules, etc., are challenging, but I really believe that the mentors have signed up and they are committed. So if the mentees follow up more, they will get more out of this relationship. As far as the mentors are concerned, I am hoping that all of you who are signing up in Singapore will say the same thing that I have heard time and again, that I signed up to Thrive as a way to give back, as a way, to do something that is meaningful, that is beyond my job. But what I have gained is far more than what I thought I would, because of the caliber of the mentees, the amount of challenges that sometimes a mentee can bring. And I feel as a mentor myself also, that's my experience. When you help somebody else grow, you grow in the process yourself. So really use this opportunity to grow with each other in that relationship. The second aspect of that is, of course, this community, which is helping each other in all sorts of things. This might be to change jobs, which has happened quite a few times. It might be leads for your business. It might be motivation when you are, feeling a bit down. So we have various ways in which the community engages with each other. At the city level, we do WhatsApp groups. There is also global private Facebook community. So depending on your preferred media of connecting, though you're meeting in person locally in Singapore, you have access to a global community, and you get what you put in. So my encouragement is put in as much as you can.
Sure, and that sounds really comprehensive. A common question that also keeps on coming is, how do we select a mentor and a mentee? What's the selection criteria behind it?
At this moment, the driver behind that is the registration process that people do on the website, right? So when the mentor is signing on the website, they tell us what are their strengths, where do they feel most equipped to offer mentoring in. Similarly, the mentees tell us what are the sort of topics where we would like mentoring. I mean, typically these are related to professional growth. How can I be an inspiring leader? Or sometimes people want to move from corporate to start their own business. Sometimes this might be about confidence. How do I actually get more confidence when I'm presenting? How can I get promoted faster, etc. So we try to match mentors and mentees depending on their professional profile, so their professional background, but more importantly, along where they feel most equipped to offer their mentoring. So those two are the criteria. And then at the launch event, you have this choice where the chemistry plays a role, right? So all these three factors together bring what I would consider a good mentor-mentee match. But having said that, Shagun, my personal take on it, and now having seen hundreds of relationships, in many ways it does not matter whom you choose as a mentor. Because somebody who's paying attention to your growth, where you take the time to reflect on a regular basis around what worked for you, what doesn't work, and planning the next thing, putting this rigor and this accountability with a senior person who's been there, done that, that is such a huge transformational experience for most mentees.
Sure. And with that, one more last question that we received was really about what would you advise to the mentees to come prepared with to ensure that the mentoring relationship is a success? We know that mentees are the key drivers in ensuring success in that relationship. What is it that they should come prepared with when they come for the launch event?
For the launch event, my suggestion would be just bring a lot of questions. And come prepared as much as possible. Be clear around what are my mentoring objectives. Why is it that I'm seeking mentoring? Sometimes when you register, you might have, put something more generic like professional growth, which is fine. But the more you're able to have a nuance around what would be that objective and what is achievable in that 6-month formal mentoring structured process. Now, I do know, Shagun, that a lot of mentors and mentees will keep in touch with each other beyond those 6 months, right?
Sure.
I mean, that is perfectly fine. But I think we want to try to give you the experience of a formal and structured process where we are hand-holding the process, with the help of tools. There is a mentor guide, a mentee guide, as I said, and there will be also lots of videos and workshops, nudges that will be given to you. So experiencing all of that will give you a lot of value the clearer you are with what am I trying to get out of this. The mentor will help you with that, but again, I think it would be very useful for you to be prepared. Now, Shagun, I know you've also been, launching formal mentoring programs in your corporate career. Any tips from you for the mentors and mentees as you welcome them for the launch event?
Yeah, I think for the mentees, being part of mentoring programs, both within corporate and external, what I've learned both as a protege and a mentor, as a protege mentee, it's important that you have crystal clear objectives behind the overall purpose that you want to achieve out of that mentoring relationship, and really breaking it out into a maximum 2 or 3 objectives and measuring the success of those objectives during that relationship of 6 months. What particularly helped me was having regular check-in sessions with my mentor to say, hey, what's working well and what's not, and how can we ensure that we are eventually achieving the goal in those stipulated 6 months. For the mentor, I would personally say, yes, they are there to impart their knowledge, their experience. But what really is an eye-opener and a transformation is when there are times a mentee shares a problem or a challenge with you, which you yourself are not sure how am I going to respond to it. So the time we take to find a solution around it, how could I help, is a growth journey for yourself. It helps own your own leadership skills. So for me, the mentor would be, you're not expected to have answers to all questions. We don't expect you to be the Google of of that mentoring relationship. It's a growth journey for you as well. And I hope with that mindset, that growth mindset, both mentors and mentees come to the table.
There's one thing I wanted to highlight here, that Thrive offers, you a mentor who is not in your organization. I mean, that is really a key benefit, because I have noticed, and I have launched several formal mentoring programs globally, that the relationship when you have a mentor who's a senior leader in your organization becomes sometimes a bit tricky, because you're not going to be as vulnerable. You're not going to, you're going to still show that you can do that, right? Instead of saying, I really don't know how to do this, I'm confused, I'm lost, I'm not feeling confident. Because inside an organization, you're always worried about your performance. You're always worried about how you will be perceived by a senior leader. That was really the starting point of Thrive, to have somebody who has absolutely no relationship to how your performance will be measured in an organization. And I think that has been a key success factor to drive the success of these relationships. With a Thrive mentor, you can be really open. You can speak about what's not working for you.
That's true. The safety, the safe environment that you get is definitely something that helps you to achieve that success. Second, also what I would like to mention here is the diversity of the mentor profiles. At times, mentees do come with the notion that I would want an expert from my industry because he or she understands that better. But it's important equally to come with a mindset to have that diversity of thought coming into play. That enables to have more enriching discussions. So the diversity of mentors that we have on board with us is really an experience that the mentees will have, having someone from a different industry or a background, helping them to go through those challenges.
Precisely, because we're not there, and Thrive Mentor is not there to help you to improve your technical functional skills.
Exactly.
This is a holistic mentoring relationship where they will look at both your career and your life. And work-life balance is often a challenge for women. And I feel when you have women mentors who Thrive, that's something that they have lived through. It's not an intellectual understanding that they have of this issue. So often the conversations get very raw and get very real. And as you know, you engage with somebody in real, authentic conversations, that's where change happens.
Sure.
Shagun, I'm watching the time. I think that we've had a very interesting conversation. I want to thank you for all the enthusiasm that you have shown, and as the chapter leader for Singapore. And I also want to thank our sponsors for the location, Bansi especially with the Syngenta location, Erica, all the amazing mentors who have already signed up, and the committed mentees. Really looking forward to meeting all of you on the trip to February in Singapore.
Thank you so much, Shivangi. It has been a pleasure, and we are really excited to see Thrive coming to Singapore. And I look forward to meeting everyone, both our mentors, mentees, and you, Shivangi, very soon. So until then, if there are any questions, feel free to write to us.
You can write the questions at hello@thrivewithmentoring.com. I think if you write the questions at hello@thrivewithmentoring.com, we will be more than happy to respond to those, because I know that we could only cover a few of them during this conversation. Bye for now. Take care. Bye, Shagun.
Bye-bye. Bye, Shivangi.